So, Slee, the argument all along has been from unions that bonuses are an issue that will make or break these wage negotiations. Eskom, as well as the Public Enterprises Minister, they've all been adamant that bonuses are off the table. Does this change things?
At this stage, according to the unions, yes, they've welcomed the loan. They're saying it's going to put the power utility obviously in a better position, taking it out of this ICU position that it's in and putting it in a place where it's obviously going to be able to operate efficiently. We know from the beginning of the year, from the CEO, Phakamani Hadebe, that the power utility needs around 72 billion rand in order to operate optimally. So now they're sitting at around 60% of having received this cash injection from the Chinese state-owned bank. Now, despite the fact that the loan has been welcomed, unions are still demanding these bonuses. They're obviously demanding around 12% of these bonuses. And NUMSA says if Eskom isn't willing to pay bonuses the way they should, then they're willing to accept an ex gratia amount. Now, according to Eskom, this is still not going to happen. We spoke to Kulu Pasiwe this afternoon.
What does that mean, this is ex gratia amount?
It's basically a lump sum, and it's something that's out of gratitude. So it won't exactly be a bonus at 12%, but it will be some kind of an amount. So Eskom is saying we still actually don't have that kind of money. This particular loan is going towards finishing Kusile and the Medupi power stations. Now, the agreement with China is that this is what the money is for, and it can't be used for anything else. So if there are suggestions that the loan should go towards paying some of these bonuses, that can't happen because it would be going against this agreement between China and Eskom.
It'll be going against the conditions that
exactly.
All right, so all of those parties back at the negotiating table on Friday. You've been covering the story for over a month now, as unions have been digging in their heels. How do things look ahead of Friday?
It's not looking good. For the mere fact that bonuses are still off the table, unions have said that they're hoping Eskom will be able to change their minds, maybe look at what they can do before Friday and come with a different answer. But what we expect unions to do on Friday is come back with an answer to the power utility on these two latest offers that have been put on the table.
Again,
Exactly. So the two offers, one offer is a 3-year agreement at 7% for the next 3 years as a wage increase. The other offer is a wage increase offer at 7.5% for 2018 and then 7% for the next 2 years after. Now, the difference between these two offers is that the 7% offer comes with a housing allowance, and the 7.5% one doesn't come with a housing allowance. But the issue of bonuses is still a major sticking point and is what's really going to see whether we see an outcome or a settlement or an agreement. All unions have said if Eskom wants an agreement, they need to resolve this issue around bonuses.
And they've also added something to that statement that strike action looms if an agreement isn't reached, and this is all as President Cyril Ramaphosa tries to attract investment.
I think at this stage the South African economy really can't afford any kind of continued power cuts. Load shedding is really a threat that's looming over the South African economy. When I spoke to Kulu this afternoon, he did say that they do have contingency plans, but they're mostly hoping for an agreement which will obviously put any kind of issue around load shedding put to bed. So we see what happens come Friday and whether we see an agreement or not.
Now, as these negotiations are ongoing, unions, their members are still at work. They're still on the job, but that might well change if things don't change by Friday. Is Friday the deadline? I mean, might we see more negotiations after this? Have they set Friday as a deadline to come to an agreement one way or the other?
I mean, these kind of situations are really fluid. It really depends on what Eskom says in these negotiations, what unions are willing to accept, what they're willing to fold on. I mean, if we don't see an agreement come Friday, there's a possibility that unions may take a step further, go to the CCMA, get a strike certificate, and then we have a situation of which we saw 4 weeks ago with lights going out, coal trucks being stopped from going into power stations, and continued blackouts really for the South African economy, businesses and households.